I think for there, you could really break that down. I don't think the pass from Angus Gunn is good enough. I don't think McKenna gets deep enough, quick enough to then make the pass. I don't think the midfield offer. We're only talking 5-6 minutes in. There's so many things we could analyse in that. And early on in the game, you really don't have room. You don't have time in a World Cup game against a team like Morocco, who were at the semi-finals last time, against a team like Brazil, who've won it more times than anyone else. You don't get the first 5-10 minutes to ease your way in. And I think that is maybe where, in this competition, in the next level, these teams are able to just turn that dial and say, let's really put them under pressure. Because we're playing Scotland, we know they're disciplined, we know they'll work hard, but, they do the prep and know that's what they're going to get from us. But the one thing they might know is, let's play at a level they're maybe not used to. Let's really try and Brazil didn't do that right in the first pass, but they baited us in and then jumped. And
it's hard for Scotty as well, because Scotty's not played any games.
Yeah.
And Scotty's came straight in that press, he's probably thinking, I'm in first touch, not too bad. Now can I relax and take the calmness out of the game? And just naturally that tempo just steps up. And I thought Brazil was able to change the tempo when they wanted to. And they went through the gears, and especially just before the end of half-time, there was some fluent football played. The wingers in around the corner into strikers' feet, and the wingers naturally following on. And the amount of times they broke our backline was incredible. But that's what top quality players can do to you. They can hurt you if you switch off for that 1 second.
Lucas, obviously the emphasis is in Scotland in particular is going to be on the mistakes that they made. Just let's put this into context though. I mean, you said before this game, Brazil not in their stride yet. James said even after this game, Brazil's still not at their levels yet that they'll want to achieve as the competition goes on. But where do you think they are?
I think it was a very good performance overall. I think from Brazil. I think, we can mention Vini Jr., we can mention Matheus Cunha, but don't forget about Alisson, made a couple of saves. So I think Neymar having some game time, Casemiro looking more comfortable, Bruno Guimarães that we mentioned a little bit before, that, showing a little bit more offensive threat. So I think overall for Brazil, it was really good. Of course, it forced Scotland to make mistakes. I think setting the trap, to recover that ball in the moment and the area of the pitch that was really dangerous. So I think, of course, Scotland side really disappointed, made mistakes, but I think for Brazil, they will look that game and analyze and be really happy that the way, especially they pressed, and the way they created chances. I think it was a very good performance for the last game of the groups. So let's hope now they keep improving and keep gaining more confidence during the tournament.
It could have been even better for Brazil because they had a goal disallowed, which I'm not sure there's anybody sitting here can really make a strong case. But I mean, look, I think you made the strongest case, Rachel, which is that there is contact.
There is.
But not just yet.
I think when you look at this again, though, we're not doing enough around Henry to be a pass. And in the end, he tries to dribble, he should buy himself more time to think, surely if I dribble, there might be an option come up. And there isn't. So he ends up thinking, I need to lend this. So he gives it to Ferguson. He doesn't, really short pass, doesn't have a chance to make another movement. And then he gets himself stuck. And, he's really in trouble when he then lets the ball through his body. This moment here, Vinicius Jr.'s on him. You see there's contact on the leg just before he plays the ball, and that's why he's given us a foul. When you see it real time, though, you really see the position Jack Henry's in. He's caught. He's caught. He's being, and it's not totally his fault, but he's trying to solve the situation by dribbling, trying to find a pass, and that's again an area us in possession. I think it at times tonight was dangerous for us.
And issues again defensively for the second goal that was allowed, Scott.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's always hard playing against a top quality team, but you're going to see how quick they just move the ball, like the speed of their attack and back and see the movement off there. That's what I was talking about earlier on, and that's us trying to play out of pressure. Yet again, we get caught, and then the ball's fantastic. But looking at the defensive line, we're okay. Angus has got his bearings completely wrong here, and Patterson's inside just takes his eye off him for 1 second, and look at Vinicius' movement, unbelievable. He's in front of him, checks off, and that's what all good wingers, strikers do. We always talk about Ronaldo's movement in the box, how well that is. take nothing for granted. That's fantastic movement, but it's a great ball in the box as well, what you were saying, Lucas.
Yes, it was a great ball from Bruno, also a counter-pressing from Matheus Cunha, and it's a great header. So I think, of course, when you score 3 goals, you always mention the offensive side. But let's not forget, I think, the way that Brazil pressed, and they pressed really well today.
Yeah, and you thought Matheus Cunha, look, this is Vinicius Junior moving on to 4 goals. This race for the Golden Boot is going to be really interesting. There's already been 4 for Haaland and Mbappe. Messi's 5 goals in a couple of games already. He's decided this is one last dance for him, and he's not going out, without making a huge fuss about it. So this race for the Golden Boot is going to be really exciting to watch. And then, as you said earlier, you wanted to highlight the work of Matheus Cunha and what he contributed. He also then managed to go on and get his goal as his reward.
Yes, award that he deserved. I think the work he put in today was incredible. He made it easier for Ryan and Vinicius Junior, dropping that little pocket and linking, the midfield to the front players. So it's a great pass from Casemiro to Bruno Guimarães, and Cunha believes that he can get the ball, and a great awareness from Bruno, and is one finish. So well-deserved award and a great goal from Matheus.
I just love this movement from Bruno, because naturally it's coming in, it's going to be a bounce pass, and Bruno's trying to get in behind, and that's what I feel Scotland didn't do well enough. If the ball did go up to Shanklin, if it did go up to McTominay, we felt like we were struggling to get there, or ideas of thinking just ahead of the game, where they're naturally smart footballers, intelligent footballers. They were just that one step ahead.
Brazil 1 step ahead all night, and they've beaten Scotland by 3-0. Sao Paulo, this is Sao Paulo after that 3rd goal, where the celebrations were in full swing. But of course, Brazil, as they always have done, have a record of finishing top of their group. So this is par for the course for Brazil. What they'll be hoping is that they can go on and lift that trophy that we can see a replica of right there in the shot come the end of this tournament. Scotland, though, have got a long wait to find out if they are going to be progressing to the knockout stages of this tournament, possibly even until the late hours of Saturday night into Sunday morning. Andy Robertson came off injured, we think, at half-time in that game. Let's hear from the Scotland skipper now. He's with Ailey.
Andy, a really difficult night for you all out there tonight, but you gave it absolutely everything, left it all out on the pitch. What are your sort of initial reflections off the 90 minutes?
Frustration, making mistakes. We started the game well. I thought we were keeping the ball kind of, pushed up the pitch and things like that, and I think they kind of put us in maybe a false sense of security, and we thought we had more time on the ball, which we did. We then get punished. You're then 1-0 down, you then have to try and fight back, but you're up against a real quality team, and I think obviously we're just off the pitch, but initial reaction is just one of frustration, because I think in certain moments we let ourselves down tonight, and we couldn't quite afford to do that.
Really difficult against opposition with the quality that Brazil have, and in between those moments there were moments that Scotland had where you did put pressure on them, so I imagine quite difficult to sort of balance it out right now in your head, is it? Yeah, look, at times we were comfortable on the ball, and at times we got ourselves in dangerous areas. We had a couple of chances that we could have had, but at this stage and against these teams, we can't afford to make the mistakes that we're making, and unfortunately we've been punished for pretty much every mistake that we've made, and that's the most frustrating thing. But at times we did play, we played some nice stuff, but it's not good enough when you then go and get beat 3-0 and things like that. So a frustrating night, but I suppose we've only got ourselves to blame. How are you feeling? Because it is a little bit of a wait for you, but there may be another game to come.
Yeah, personally, time will tell. Need to take a day or two to see what actually has happened, and I'll do that. But as a collective, we didn't want to put ourselves in a position where now we have to watch every game and hope for favours and hope this team score and all that. So we've put ourselves in a really difficult situation. If you ask me now, I don't think it's enough. I don't think we've done enough. But time will tell. Maybe I'm proved wrong, and maybe we get another shot at it. I hope that's the case. But the next couple of days is going to be horrible, and it's going to be long, but it's a situation we've put ourselves in, so we have to deal with it.